Okay, so we're doing chapter 1.5, equivalent linear systems, on page 46, and this is question number 5. So A, use substitution to solve the linear systems 4x plus y equals 1 and x minus 2y equals negative 11. So I'm just going to rewrite the equation. So 4x plus y equals 1 and x minus 2y equals negative 11. So first we have to, we're doing substitution, so I'm just going to start off with this equation right here. So we have to isolate the x. So x equals, because we want to isolate it, negative 11 plus 2y. Because this negative 2 changes when it goes to the other side of the equal sign. So x equals negative 11 plus 2y. And now we have to substitute this into our second equation over here. So 4 and then x, which equals negative 11 plus 2y plus y equals 1. So now we just have to solve for y. So let's multiply. Negative 44 plus 8y plus y equals 1. And now we have to collect the like terms. So negative 44 plus 9y equals 1. And now let's isolate y, 9y, so 9y equals 1, and then move negative 44 to the other side, and then it will be positive 44. So 9y equals 45. And now we have to find out what y equals, so 9 divided by 9, and then so y is equal to 5. Okay, so now that we know what y equals to, we can put it into this equation to find out what x equals to. So x minus 2y, and y equals 5, so put that in, equals negative 11. So x minus negative 10, after you multiply, equals negative 11. So now we have to just isolate the variable. So x equals negative 11, and then move the 10 to the other side. So it's positive 10. Okay, so x and then negative 11 plus 10 equals negative 1. Okay, so now that we have solved the linear system and it is equal to negative 1 and 5 is our answer, we now need to move on to B. So now we have to create another linear system by adding and subtracting the equations in part A. So let's do B right over here. So first we'll add. So 4x plus y equals 1 over x minus 2y equals negative 11. And we are adding first. So 4x plus x is 5x. And then this is a plus sign. And then so 1y plus negative 2y equals negative 1y. And then 1 minus negative 11 equals negative 10. Okay, so that's our linear equation. So this is our new linear equation by adding. And now we'll just do it again by subtracting. So 4x plus y equals 1. And then x minus 2y, our other equation, equals negative 11. So now we have to subtract this time. So 4x minus 1x equals 3x. And then 1y minus 2y equals 3y plus 3y. And then finally 1 minus negative 11 equals 12. Oops. Okay, so these are our two new linear equations by adding and subtracting. And now finally, C is verify that the systems in part A and B have the same solutions. So we can do that by plugging in what we got in part A, so our coordinates -1 and 5, into our two equations that we got, our linear equations, equivalent linear equations in part B. So let's just start with this. 5x minus 1y equals -10. So now we have to substitute these into this equation to see if we've done everything right. So 5 and then x equals -1. And then minus 1y, which is 5, equals -10. Okay, so now we have to multiply. So 5 times -1 and -1 times 5. And that ends up being -5 minus 5 equals -10. And then -5 minus 5 equals -10. And since both sides are equal, then we have done everything right. Okay. And sorry, that is my brother in the background making noise. I'm sorry about that. Okay, and then we could also verify our second one by doing the same thing. So 3x plus 3y equals 12. And then we'll substitute in our coordinates again. So 3 times -1 and 3y times 5, because y equals 5, equals 12. So 3 times -1 is -3, plus 3 times 5 is 15, equals 12. So -3 plus 15 equals 12. And since both sides are the same, then we have done everything right. So that is chapter 1.5, Equivalent Linear Systems, page 46, number 5, parts A, B, and C. Okay.